All right, here we go. Back at it again. I am on my way to visit the projects and see what's going on. A couple issues have arisen. A few alterations are being made, and go down to figure out a solution to them. And I'll tell you what's going on at the end of the video because I want to see if these solutions work. Now, I didn't post a video yesterday. Not that you noticed. Didn't post a video because your boy is still going through a lot of grief, struggling a lot mental health wise. Not to put a Debbie Downer on this video, don't you worry. There's going to be some nice footage later on, don't you worry. But when it comes to when you're in property investment and you surround yourself by extremely driven, hardworking people, you naturally, not only do you improve yourself and you get better, you naturally start comparing yourself to them. And I like the saying, you're not a product of your environment, like you're a product of who you compare yourself to, you know? And I compare myself to like really, really like high-end people. So I get down about it when, like say yesterday, I needed a rest day. And you'll find that, you'll be like, oh, I feel like fucking shit today, man. Like I can't do anything. Sending an email everything feels 10 times harder than it needs to be. You're exhausted, your brain isn't working, like you're not even doing anything, you know, like productive wise. You spend about 2 hours on a task that could have took half an hour. Your body is screaming at you to take a rest and just have a rest day. And because I compare myself to people who are working all the time, I then feel guilty for like having a rest day. And if you have a rest day, you just end up thinking, I should be doing this, I should be doing this. You try and go for a nap and you're like, why am I going for a nap when I should be doing this? I've got this that needs to be done. And you find yourself just giving yourself even more of a hard time. You're giving yourself such a hard time for just resting. But I need you to know that yesterday I done like the minimum amount of work I needed to do to keep things afloat. But I also gave myself permission to not do work. I gave myself permission to try and have a nap and basically have a rest. Just have a day and sit in my grief, sit in the pain that I'm in, sit in, you know, the struggles that I'm in. It fucking sucked. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like I felt really bad all day, like really just rock bottom. But because I had that rest day yesterday, because I allowed myself to sit in it and think and feel how I feel, give myself permission to feel like shit and not do much. Today, I feel full of energy. I feel excited to take on things again. And that is what it's for. If you are sitting there and you're like, I need a rest, I know I need a rest day, but I can't because all these things need done. If you're doing all of those things, but they're being done poorly, if you're not like doing things the way they should be, and it's taking you longer to do them, a rest day is a stitch in time that will save 9. If you have one rest day, yes, things will back up a little bit, but you'll have more energy tomorrow and the next day and the next day. You've got to listen to your body. You've got to listen to it because that's the engine, that's the center, that's the forefront of everything. It's the nucleus of it all, right? If you don't listen to your body and you crash and you burn hard, you can have a fucking heart attack, you can have a stroke. Those are the end of it. The end of the spectrum. But you can also just simply burn out. You can just, your brain doesn't want to do anything, your body doesn't want to do anything, and you just really struggle. Like, listen to your body, have a rest day if you need it, go for a walk, sit and watch fucking Netflix all day. It doesn't matter. Whatever recharges your batteries, whatever, you know, takes your mind off things and just slows the heart rate down, slows the stress levels down, and recharges you, do that. Right? Do that because it will translate into your business. Today, like I went back to boxing, I'm going down to what the projects, we had interviews for a new virtual assistant admin role and done other things like sorted like furniture packs, followed up on a few emails and stuff, you know, like very productive morning, and it's 12:30 now. And all of those things weren't taxed. If that would have been a full fucking day's work yesterday, and it would have all been done pretty poorly, you know. So just remember, if you need a rest day, if you have a rest day, don't be hard on yourself. Give yourself permission to how you feel, and know that it's for the greater good. This rest day will translate into your business. You'll do more productive things. You'll have a higher output. You'll be able to do higher quality of work in a shorter space of time. Trust me, it's what you need. If you need it, okay? Right, let's shoot on down to these fucking projects. Let's see what's going on, let's see what's up. And I'll do a wee catch up. I went up to Scotland and, you know, a few things happened over this past weekend. So I'll do a wee catch up at the end of the video and see what's going on. But for now, let's go to these projects. Right, I've arrived, but I want to show you this. Look at my window wiper. It fell off on the motorway. Look at the state of that. I had to put a bin bag on it to get it up and running. Oh my God. And see this one here? I just, like, it was that one that fell off, and that one I had to swap over to this one. So I have a little bit of thingy. What a joke, man. That's the second time it's happened in the last couple of months. Right, let's see what's going on with this project. First fix electrics. Holes are being dug. Things are coming on really nicely.
Spend all my money on all of booze, on drug cocktails and all Caribbean cruise. Yes, I spend all my money on these pretty things, but I ain't got no shilling left for me.
All right, trips. We are at the latest project, and it is time for me to tell you what I look for when I view properties. Now, when I view properties, let's just say I'm walking through this one. This one was brought to me by a fellow investor, but if I were viewing it, which I did, what would I be looking for? So I walk in, I notice there's no hallway here, just a room, okay? So that means this whole room has to be, it's basically like a double ensuite or a studio, because we can't put a hallway here because then this room would be too small. So that means this whole room is going to be its own room. What does that mean? That then means we may have to put a door, like behind here, we put like a door to the alleyway. The alleyway is on that side. And we go around here, we do our usual spiral staircase that goes all the way up, and we put a door in the alleyway. Why do we do that? To make more space. So that means this room, this whole room here is going to be its own room. Then when I come through here, usually this room here would be a kitchen diner. And when it comes to the kitchen diner, because the alleyway door is now going to be there, that means the kitchen's going to go around that way. Okay? Now, what I also look for is this. What's this bit called? It's called an outrigger, and I'll show you a little bit of a better view of it. This here. So the house is like an old Victorian style build. You might be able to see on them ones over there. That's what it looks like from a different angle. And that's it here. Why do I want one of these? Because it means this can also be a room on the ground, first and second floor, okay? I go through here and I'm like, right, we'll need to extend that bit out to here and this bit even further, but how much is the question? How much is the question? Now, what I then do is I get the keys to go outside, and I'm going to take you outside just now. So I go outside, have a wee look, measure up the garden, and I'm like, okay, maybe not much can come out here. So that might not be able to be a studio, but it would just be a ground floor extension, okay? Ground floor. We won't extend, it's not going to be a 2-story extension, just ground floor. So that means this is going to come forward, that's going to come forward, and that's another room. I also look for an alleyway, whether it's a full alleyway or not, doesn't matter. I look for the alleyway because once we have an alleyway, if we have an alleyway, that means we can put the doors, the alleyway doors on the side of the house, right? So we can put the alleyway doors on the side of the house. And this one is like, this street, it's like 2 houses, 2 houses, 2 houses. So there's an alleyway on each side of each house, and it's a full one, which means we have, on this one, a smaller property. If you have the flying freehold, so when you have the top floor, so like when you have the top floor here, and it goes over the alleyway, that's called the flying freehold, and it means the upstairs is bigger than the downstairs, whereas on this one, the downstairs is the same as the upstairs. So it's a bit less space for this one, but that doesn't mean it's the same on all the others. But an alleyway on that side does help because we won't be disturbing the neighbours. See when we take these chimneys out? These chimneys, they're on the alleyway side, which is good, you know, because there's another one there. When we take those out, we're not going to be disturbing neighbours too much, which is nice. Now that we're upstairs, I can see that I've decided these stairs are going to be changed, and this here can be a studio. because I'll have measured it up and then taken into consideration this bit here, which could be extended a little bit further that way, and that'll be the ensuite. Floor measurements are obviously really important. 14 square meters is what it takes to be a studio, which I would check if the floor plans are on Rightmove, and then I cross-reference it on the EPC. If there's no measurements, I come and do my own measurements, guaranteed every time. And then when I go through here, sometimes because the U-shaped staircase is going to be here, this will all be a landing, and then this room here will be, all of that will be knocked down, all of this will be knocked down, and all of this will be one room, so it'll be a decent sized studio. That's what I think in my head, okay? See that? There's another view of the outrigger, pretty handy for these type of things that we do, HMO conversions. So now that all of these things are taken away, that would be a studio, brilliant. I can't get into the loft, it's that wee hole up there. However, now that I know the size, I would go into the loft with my wee ladder and I'd measure it from the bottom all the way up to the ridge at the top, and I'd want it to be about 2.4 meters or above, because that means we can have enough room. Because see these ceilings, they're quite high. Look, you might be able to see me on the ceiling. I'm obviously 7'2", and these ceilings are really fucking high. So that means with the ceilings, we drop them, we lower them to about 2.35, sometimes 2.4. And when we lower these ceilings, that means it gives us more room in the loft. All right, to then do the loft conversion. When I think of loft conversion, because this is a small property, it's gonna need an L-shaped dormer, a big dormer that goes on the top up there in order to get the studio and double ensuite. Usually the studio will be on the front of the house because of the L-shaped dormer, and a double ensuite will be on the back of the house depending on the size of the house. So when I'm viewing these properties, when it's a small property like this, maximizing the space is extremely important. And basically, we have to do more things. We have to do extensions and L-shaped dormers, which means a higher build cost, which then reflects in the offer price. Mate, I'm honestly out of breath. It's actually embarrassing. Fucking hell. What else is there? What else is there, troops? Come on, come on, come on. If the property is big, I think this one is like 80 square meters. If you've got a property that's like 120, 130 square meters, you don't need to run around doing extensions, L-shaped dormers. Those are only there to add space, to bring it up to about 120 square meters, which is what we want to do. So if your property is like 120, 130 square meters, even like 115, you could still you could just do a bunch of reconfiguration. Depending on the layout of the property, you can just do a bunch of reconfiguration on the inside, save a lot of money on the refurb. It'll probably drop from like 180 down to like 120. You know, it's a big drop, which means you can like increase your offer price, or if you get a banging deal, you can just simply get a better return on investment. Maybe even pull all your money out. Who knows? Who knows? Right. I'm going to chat shit to you about something. I'm really sorry you're going to have to deal with my shit. Let's set you up nicely and take it from there. All right. So as you know, my main goal is to raise private investor finance and get over the mental barrier that is, because if you're looking to raise private investor finance, you feel it's such a mental game, like going to people and asking for money, but then you got to be like, yeah, but I'm presenting an opportunity, which I am, but it's really, it's just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So the steps that I am taking is the following. I have joined a community called the Property Club UK, which I've joined today. I got recommended by my mates Leon and Kyle Hart, and they are prolific investors. They are really, really, really good. Now this one is just to build my knowledge and surround myself by people that are doing it, because again, you're a product of both your environment and who you compare yourself to. Now, why did I join this group? Because I want to do a lot of networking. So I know I'm talking about myself a lot, but just basically take from it what you will. Like, although I'm talking about myself, you can apply some of this, to your day-to-day life. Now, before I joined, the guy that basically markets or owns it, he sent me the Q2 schedule, the second quarter, and there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 events happening in the second quarter. So if I attend all of them, and I have booked networking events to go to them, which I'll take you along. Don't know how much I can talk to them though, but nerve-wracking. Book networking events, posting on social media, doing several call to actions with my new automated system, and which I've done a video about. I'll put the link below. New automated system. If I do all of this for a prolonged period of time, and I'm thinking of doing cold outreach on LinkedIn, I'm hearing a bit of success on that. If you have done that, comment below what has worked for you and see if we can all help each other out. That's what this channel is all about. Let's help each other out. And cold outreach on LinkedIn. LinkedIn's a platform that I hate using. It's just so fucking boring. It's just so boring. I don't know. But, you can't only do the things you enjoy. So what I'm going to do is do 10 cold outreaches every morning, make it a part of a morning routine, or 10 connection requests and 5 cold outreaches, and then just take it from there. Add that to the funnel. So here's what could be fun and interesting. Basically, if you have your funnel, like I done in the last video, what you could do is you have basically the top of the funnel, and all of those are your social medias. But then you have it all stringing off. So say if someone went into a lead magnet, they get put into this, and then it goes into they get put into the email sequence from Kit, and their information gets stored, and then they get channeled into the newsletter whilst also receiving the lead magnet. You know what I mean? So it all flows into one space. So you just do extensions. So what I'm thinking of doing, thinking out loud here, so if it's bad, comment below. When I do cold outreach on LinkedIn, perhaps other platforms, I have a sequence for that. Just starting chat, hey, how's it going? Not too bad. What have you been up to? Oh, yeah, we've been doing this, brilliant. And then they'll naturally ask back, oh, I've been up to this. Oh, that's fantastic. Then you tell them what you're up to. Oh, by any chance, do you happen to know anyone that would be interested in the sort of thing that I provide? Oh, yeah, I might actually know someone. Fantastic. And then, that's in an ideal world. Let me think. Then let's just say you get the thumbs up. What is the process from there? Do you send a Calendly link? That Calendly link. So then you start creating a flow chart, and then it ultimately funnels into your other flow. It's like a river. You have the main river and all these other things flowing into it to ultimately get them down to the river. Let me try and create this, and in a future video, I'll walk you through it, because I like flow charts. I like just seeing, case progression, just seeing things going down like that. But LinkedIn posts, LinkedIn cold outreach, in-person networking events, not even just to raise finance, just to build my network and help other people whilst they help me. That's important. That's something you should do. This channel is not, it's not like all brass and all excitement. You're seeing me in real time. Think about it. Today's Wednesday, and I'm actually uploading this today. So if you're watching this today, then you're seeing it. The same day I recorded it. So you realize, this is super recent stuff. I'm figuring it out in real time. I've already done the deal packaging stuff. That's already up and running. Now it's just doing the other stuff. And again, stop being a wee fucking bitch. You might find yourself just being like, oh no, I can't do it because of this. Who's going to lend money to me? Who's going to do this? Who's going to do that? But if you're in these communities, if you're in the property club, if you're in Freedom Warriors, if you're in, PIN, PPN, BNI, if you're in all of these things, and on social media in general, you're seeing people raise finance left, right, and center. It's more than possible. That means it's a you problem. Figure out what that problem is. For me, it's a mental barrier. It's who would want to work with me? I don't know. But then, if I'm not confident in myself, if I can't even convince myself, how the fuck can I not convince other people? So, something I've got to work on. Anyway, I hope this video's been okay. It might have ran over a wee bit. I hope it hasn't. Just getting back into the swing of things. It's been a rough couple days. So getting back into the swing of things. This is what I do. Tomorrow, site visit day. Big site visits. And Friday, I'm filming with the Dan Holland. We're doing reels. We're doing YouTube content. We're going all around our projects. And that's a huge one. That'll be a big one. And then next week, I'm meeting Leon Hart. I'm meeting Kyle Hart. I'm going up to the Northwest to see what they're doing, record all of that, boom. And then all these networking events, going to be recording all of them, what I learned, what I said, what worked, because I have actually secured clients at a networking event before. Secured a client and then they referred someone. So basically secured 2 clients from one pitch at a networking event. So I know it works. Now it's time to make it work for something else. And I'm going to take you through all of that. You're following it in real time. So if you're looking to raise finance, then, subscribe. If you want to be a private investor with me, fill out the form below. I hope me being too harsh on myself doesn't put you off. Fuck it. Right, that's this video done. Unpolished, pretty raw, pretty stupid. I'll see you tomorrow. Cheers.
Spend all my money on love, booze, on drug cocktails and all Caribbean cruise. Yes, I